it gets bad, and then from there it gets worse. Facebook ruins everything. Oh my god. Welcome to my kingdom, or welcome back to my kingdom. Thank you for existing. Welcome to 2023. How are you doing? Are you feeling okay? Feeling good? Luckily, I haven't been having that much seasonal depression lately. I just haven't been posting because I got a new mic and my old audio sounds like trash. This video might sound like trash too because this is the first time I'm using this mic officially. But anyway, that's not the point of this video. I asked y'all on Instagram if you wanted to see a story time about me almost passing away at a rave, or behind the scenes of Lub-Dub, the show that I throw every single year and I'm gonna post videos about anyway. And of course you guys picked me almost passing away. I'm gonna just totally get into this because it's a really long and wild story. You really have to understand the ambience to get like the whole picture. These were almost the last moments of my life, so I really want to document it well. But before we get into it, make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe so you don't miss videos from me. Join the kingdom, join the PLUR kingdom. But anyway, let's get into this. This is a big one, so get your drink or your smoke or whatever. I kind of am doing both because that's how I am. This story takes place back in February 2019. Literally a couple months after I started throwing parties. I started throwing parties in December, the end of the year of 2018. So I was naive, I was stupid. There was a lot of mistakes that ended up getting me into some serious trouble. My friend had posted on Facebook and also messaged me like, where are the parties at this weekend? I gotta know like what's going on. This was like Tuesday or Wednesday. My friend is texting me where the party's at. So I'm searching Facebook, I'm searching Instagram, I'm Googling. I'm like literally like parties Pittsburgh, and there's nothing happening. I'm gonna tag some pictures as I go along for context, but I'm pretty sure this was like February 17th or something like that. But I'll leave, if I can find the event page, I will leave a screenshot of it. This was back before I even had the name PLUR Kingdom. I used to be Plursburg. A whole thing happened with that. I'll make a story time eventually about it. Not this story. A different story. So my friend's like, where's the parties at? Where's the parties at? There's no parties. So guess what? My naive, stupid ass thinks that I'm just able to throw a party in 4 days and like be able to plan it, find a place, all the DJs, whatever. I posted on Facebook because I don't know, the house I was going to throw parties at, I only had one house that I threw parties at before I started throwing actual raves at a venue. And I don't know what was going on with that house. Whatever was going on with that house, we could not throw parties there this weekend. So I had to search Facebook. I had to post on Facebook who has a house. And this random person who I've never met in person, like seriously never met in real life, this random person says like, I have a cabin that me and my friends party in. And we're like messaging each other about it. I do not go see the place before I go. I do not even like look up the address barely. Like, I just make the event page because the guy said he got a place, he got a cabin, you know? I'm thinking like, disgusting. I'm thinking like, you know, a fireplace inside for heating, maybe some running water, you know, not too crazy. Electric, you know, like the dude confirms that there's electric, confirms that there's a lot of parking and that there's like a field next to it and stuff like that. And that there's a lot of trees surrounding it and that we'll be fine and no noise complaints and that we'll be fine. Everything will be fine. Okay. So I do what I do. I wrangle up like 7 DJs so that we can go all night until the sunrise. I wrangle up somebody with lights, sound, a power inverter, a car that can handle probably getting its battery stressed out from trying to run sound, because I was convinced that this was like an actual cabin, but I was trying to like be prepared and have like a backup with the power inverter and everything. Boy, the day comes for the actual party, and whenever I look up how far away the party actually is, it's like 2 hours from me. Okay, it's in the middle of Pennsyltucky, bumfuck nowhere, and this isn't the same Pennsyltucky, bumfuck nowhere as like the fall days. Pennsyltucky, bumfuck nowhere. This is a different one. Okay, so this is like more south, and so I was like, dude, I hope everybody else is going to be willing to drive this far, because I only had like 50 people interested in the event anyway. So I was like, okay, so we get, you know, we get on getting, I update the Facebook page with the address and everything, and we're on our way. We're on our merry way. I get to what is supposed to be the location. It's the middle of the highway. And I look to my left and I look to my right, and there's literally just trees everywhere. There's like not even a place. And I call the guy, I'm like, am I in the right spot? Basically, he says, no, like, you're not. Here's a different address. And the address that he gives me from there isn't even a freaking address. It's a pinpoint to where we're supposed to go. Like, it's a GPS coordinate location. Okay, it's coordinates. It's coordinates. This is starting to feel like a real renegade now. This is starting to feel really risky and edgy. You know what I mean? I'm 19 and thriving at this point. I'm like, ooh, I'm so renegade. I thought, hold on, just wait. It gets bad, and then from there it gets worse. We, you know, head to this new address. It's like a couple minutes away, maybe 10 minutes max. And I started to get a little bit anxious because before we were in like country roads, like the middle of nowhere, like there was farmland and shit. And now we're getting into like still country, but it's like suburban. There's houses, they're kind of close to each other. There's normal ass driveways, shit like that. And we pull up into like an actual street with a cul-de-sac. And the cul-de-sac, at the end of the cul-de-sac is this opening, just like a clearing in the trees, okay? And like a dirt road that kind of goes like you can see it's not straight, and there's a lot of hills, and it's very rocky. I call the guy again because it says we're here, and I'm like, is this the right place? Like, please don't tell me you're in one of these houses here. He's like, no, don't worry, I'm not. We're not in actually like any of those houses. Don't worry, just go straight back. I'm like, honey, we do not have a four-wheeler right now. We are in a lowered Saturn. He's like, you'll make it. So good thing Tyler's a good driver, because God forbid, like people's asses hitting the seats, people's heads hitting the ceiling, like we're going up and down and up and down and through the trees and all this shit. So many hills and ridiculousness. Like the people in my car almost concussed themselves just by hitting their heads on the ceiling so many times. By the time we finally get in, I'm concerned for anybody else who came through, because like I said, Tyler's one of the best drivers that I have been in the car with. So I'm just concerned for everybody else, and if they're gonna, but if our lowered Saturn made it, everybody else's car should make it, okay? So we get there, and I look around, and I'm like, well, of course there's a lot of parking here. You literally, like, cut down the trees to build this cabin. I look ahead of me, and I kid you not, it's like Abe Lincoln's cabin, dude. It's literally built from the surrounding trees. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a regular, like, it's not like a vacation Airbnb cabin. It is not like the cabin in my birthday, 3-day birthday weekend. I have 2 vlogs posted for that. That's the kind of cabin I thought we were going to. This cabin is not that cabin, okay? This cabin has 2 working light bulbs. The entire thing is built out of logs and plank wood. The inside, I don't even think had a ground. It had like dirt on the inside. They used a bonfire to heat the place. Well, when you're in Pennsylvania, you do what Hicks do, basically. It was crazy. And like, if you could imagine a mix of gay ravers and Hicks, what could go wrong? What could go wrong? I'm setting up, you know, I'm blowing up some balloons, I'm putting up some decorations, I'm putting some, you know, trash bags all over the place, because I know we're going to be drinking and, you know, just getting rowdy up in there. And all of a sudden I hear some commotion coming on from outside, and I was busy. So I had somebody else go deal with it. I don't know who fucking dealt with it. I don't know what was going on. Somebody was stuck in the bush. Somebody was stuck in the freaking bush. That was what the commotion was. I'm not going to say what they were smoking, but it definitely was not weed, okay? It's 8 p.m. and some tweaker is stuck in the bush. You know it's going to be a wild night if, like, the sun has barely set and this is already going down. So cool. We get the tweaker out of the bush. Shit seems fine. But it gets worse. Like, why can't I stop saying that? Okay. People start showing up, and seeing the, like, true even mix of Hicks and ravers was just a lot for me. And after a while, I started to be like, damn, I really gotta piss, you know? And mind you, I'm in like an alpaca onesie. It's the middle of February, so I was ready for it to be cold as heck. And so I was in an alpaca onesie, like it buttoned down the front and had a little hood. It was cute, but it was a onesie. It was a onesie. You know what onesies are like at raves. It's going to the bathroom is difficult, and I did not plan this out. Like, yes, you have to plan out if you can pee or not in your outfit before you go to a rave, because sometimes you just get so messed up and I was on a concoction, dear. Like back then I was so dumb and naive that I would just be on like everything that I could get my hands on in order to like, I would just like be high the whole time. And now I'm like, I try to just stick to like a little bit of weed and a couple of drinks because I could not imagine trying to manage multiple people's money. Like, good thing I didn't like actually throw this party for money because I was so fucked up. So fucked up. So I go to get my toilet paper out of the car. I'm realizing that like there is nowhere for me to pee outside. Like, there are people by the bonfire, there are people, you know, coming in and out of their cars, there are people everywhere, and I just can't. So I go inside. There's this ladder going up to this loft, and then there's a door going to a balcony. And the balcony has this floorboard, right? And they got like 2 floorboards missing because there's a hole in the floor. There's literally a hole in the floor. It's up off the ground like 7 feet, and there's a hole. And I was like, in my smart brain, I was like, oh my God, instead of peeing out here with all these people, I can just, you know, go to the balcony up off the loft and pee through that hole. Because that's like what made sense in my mind. So I had my friend follow me. I don't even know who was there with me at the time. I think Tyler was there too. I'm not even sure. So I go inside. I go past like, you know, all these people just dancing. I go up the ladder, which is starting to get muddy at this point. Gross. My hands are getting dirty. And then I come up to the loft and I go through the door. Good thing there was a door there because I literally
like, nobody look at me, I'm peeing out here.
And they were like, whatever. I don't know why they didn't question me because I was literally going out to the balcony. So I'm sure that somebody else has done that before, because why else are you going out to the balcony to pee? You can't just be peeing on the floor, are you? Like, you have to be peeing in that hole, right? Let's hope. So anyway, I go out there and I realize this hole is a lot bigger than I thought. There I am, onesie around my ankle, like around my ankles. I'm like trying to sit in this hole, basically. Like, I'm squatting over the hole and I'm trying to pee in this hole. And I'm thinking I'm doing great. Like, I think I'm doing great. And then I realize I'm pissing all over my onesie. All over my onesie. There's piss all over my onesie. Like, I literally cannot even deal with this. So I start screaming. Because what else do you do when you piss on yourself? Obviously tell everybody. So I start screaming,
oh my God, I just pissed all over my onesie. Like,
friend is cracking up. Pretty sure Tyler was there. I like remember him being there vaguely. But I just remember like pissing on myself and being like, damn it. And I go inside and there are 2 girls in cowboy boots, literally, standing by the ladder that I need to use to go downstairs to go change my piss-covered onesie. Because yes, I did like bring new clothes. I always like, whenever I go to a rave, I usually bring extra clothes because you never know if you're going to pee on yourself, I guess, or like where you're going to end up. So like, have extra clothes that you can change into in case something happens. Like, you might get vomited on. You never know. This shit gets crazy. I pissed on myself, okay? But as I'm going to the ladder to go down the ladder and go change my clothing, there's 2 girls in cowboy boots standing there. And they're like,
oh my God, you are such a free spirit.
Like, I cannot make this up. They literally said to me,
you are such a free spirit. How do I become a free spirit like you?
And I don't even remember responding. I just remember laughing and like just being like, y'all. In my mind, I was like, apparently piss on yourself in your onesie while you're like trying to go to the bathroom. Like, that's how you be a free spirit. Free spirit? Free spirit? Bro, it gets worse. It gets worse. I didn't even get to the part where I almost died. Okay? We're getting there. We are getting there. I go outside and I go to change my piss-covered onesie. I don't know how many times I'm going to say that. I'm sorry if that like freaks you out or if you're offended by any part of this video. I go outside to get my, you know, change my piss-covered onesie and like, you know, get some hand sanitizer on my hands, put away my toilet paper, do all the things I need to do. And I realize it's getting consistently more muddy and wet outside. Like, it's not just drizzling. It's like doing a little more than drizzling. You know what I mean? It's not full on raining, but there's pools of water forming in the parking lot. Like, next to the bonfire is complete ash and sludge and mud mess. So I was getting kind of concerned because, like I said earlier, when I went up the ladder to go piss, like, it was getting muddy, okay? So I go change my clothes and clean myself up and do whatever I need to do. And then I go and check everything out and I walk around. Things are looking all right for a second. Like, I'm dancing, I'm having a good time. Like, I'm starting to like roll a little bit. So I am like, at this point, I'm like drunk rolling. Like, okay. I'm too messed up for this situation. Too messed up to be dealing with this many people in a stranger's house that well, it's not a house, it's a hand-built fucking cabin. It's some real hick hillbilly shit, like I'm telling you. And so we go up, so I go up to the loft because I want to teach people about like KANDI and PLUR. I had all my KANDI up there. I had coloring books up there in the loft where the balcony was and everything. I literally had all that shit up in there. Was like couches and stuff. So I'm up there teaching people about KANDI, teaching people about PLUR, having a bomb time. Everything's going great. It's going great for too long, honey. That's what's happening. I just remember taking the ladder on like too fast. Like I was too quick with it. So I'm going down the ladder and I make it about 2 freaking, you know, logs down, because it's made out of logs too. This whole place is made out of freaking Lincoln logs. So I'm going down and all of a sudden I just slip. I just slip and I drip off. The best way I could describe it is I literally dripped off because I felt like I was going in slow motion. And I was so fucked up that, like, I'm not trying to say get fucked up and you'll be saved from a fall, but I fell on that ground, dude, so hard. Like, nobody heard me because the music was so loud, and everybody who was downstairs was just hicks. It was absolute, like, people I didn't know, people who didn't know me, and, like, I just fell on the ground. I fell from, like, 6 feet, and, like, I was so fucked up that I could have concussed myself. I could have paralyzed myself. I laid there for about 5 to 10 seconds. It felt pretty long, and nobody helped me up. And that's the thing. Nobody helped me up. Not a single person. Nobody that I was friends with or that I invited had seen me fall. But, like, nobody had seen me fall. So I'm laying there, and then I finally get up, and I can't even stand up straight. Like, my whole back hurts. Everything hurts. Like, when I hit the fucking ground, it didn't hurt, but when I got up, it hurt. But I was very drunk. I was doing shots. I was like, you know, I was not good. I was not doing good, okay? So I fall up this ladder. Almost snap my neck and almost break my back. So I was so embarrassed after this that I couldn't even, like, tell anybody what happened. Like, I was afraid to tell Tyler that I had fallen. I was afraid to tell my friends that I had fallen. So I distinctly remember going out and just in silence, going out of the front of the cabin, off the deck, and, you know, by the bonfire, and just hanging out with the people that I did not know, like random-ass, and just pretending like it didn't just happen. Just really pretending like I didn't just fall and almost, like, unalive myself. Because I fell from literally 6 feet. Like, this ladder was not OSHA approved. It was a 90-degree angle, and it was slippy as fuck. Like, I think that's a Pittsburgh word. To this day, actually, it's kind of funny. If I was noticing
I was taking OnlyFans photos.
Link in bio. But yeah, I was taking OnlyFans photos, and if you're on there, you can literally see that, like, the divot in my back. I want to see if I can maybe show you. Do you see that? You can see it better in OnlyFans photos, but literally it, like, goes, like, it, like, curves and goes in a little bit in the middle of where it curves. It's so weird. Zoomed into my spinal fucking cord, honey, and I'm like, oh my god, what's wrong with your spine? And then I realized, oh my god, and that's what reminded me of this story, was that my back still hurts to this day from it, and the fact that I can see it in photos. I could not walk right until summertime, when my friend cracked my back for me. And this is crazy because I don't, like, let people crack my back or anything. If you remember, I posted a story time on here called My First Trip. And in that video, I explained why I don't crack my back very often, or why I didn't before. Now I kind of do, but I used to be, like, afraid to crack my back and neck because my friend had a seizure whenever he was tripping. And it was the first time I was tripping. Just go watch the story time because the whole thing was crazy. Like, that's why I was so afraid to get my back cracked. And to this day, I'm still kind of scared because I have PTSD and stuff. But literally, I fell on my back to the point where, like, I couldn't stand up straight until June or July, when I had my friend just, like, crack my back and neck. It was crazy at, like, a freaking after party.
After I almost died,
the rest of the night, basically was fine. Like, we went until 7 a.m. or so, until sunrise, and it was a very painful ride home. I remember I was with a friend at the time who, like, I'm not friends with them anymore. They were horrible to me and mean to me, and they made me sit in the back of the car the whole way home, and I just felt like shit because my back was killing me and I really needed to, like, be in a comfortable seat, and she would not let me, so that pissed me off. If you want to hear the story about my original promotion company getting stolen by my old friend, and then my friend trying to pretend to be me, let me know, because that was a crazy story. I wasn't going to tell it on here just because of the fact that I don't want her to start shit up again with me, even though that was years ago. I mean, the last incidence of her trying to come at me was like literally last year, or maybe 2 years ago. I can't even remember. Yeah, that was my story about almost dying at a rave. I have a Lub-Dub vlog that I want to make coming out, just telling you guys about, you know, what I'm doing this year for Lub-Dub and everything like that. And then a Lub-Dub vlog from actual Lub-Dub. I'm going to a festival this summer that's in Colorado. It's also going to be me and Tyler's first time in Colorado. So expect a Colorado travel vlog, a festival vlog, and that's going to be in June. I'm hoping that I can get it booked at a couple festivals this summer, making candy and teaching people how to make candy and, you know, vending my art and stuff like that. There's a bunch of cool things coming in this new year. Thank you for sticking around. Do not forget to like and subscribe. Remember, anybody can be amazing if they just be themselves. Also, what do you think of my makeup? It took me 3 hours, so please don't be mean in the comments. It kind of reminds me of this t-shirt I used to have, this band tee from Miss May I. They were like my favorite band back in the day. If anybody knows Miss May I, let me know, because I was just listening to them while I was doing my makeup, and I think that's why. Anyway, I love you guys. Have a great time. You all are unique and special in your own individual ways. Never forget that. And if you ever need help, just reach out or reach within, because sometimes you're the only person who can help yourself. Have a great life. I love you. Goodbye.